Saturday, November 14th, getting ready to meet up with everybody to head out to the claim. We might stop by at a little mining tour first. I'm not sure if that's what everybody wants to do. We'll see. All right, so I guess it was decided we're going to go, a couple of us are going to go on the mining tour. It's about an hour and a half tour, and then we'll head out to the claim from. Since their claim is right next to the GBPAA claim, I'm not putting a whole bunch of hope in it. I know they've been finding some. It's like flour gold out there, so it takes a lot of it to add up. But yeah, it'll be a fun time. Enjoy being out here. So it'll be a good thing. But again, I'm not expecting much. Yeah, this must be where the mine tour is down here, I'm guessing. Interesting place. To hatch a cup, something like that. To hatch a cup.
But there's enough gold and silver in there. They said that they have a company that's interested in it and acquiring it and
volume
and processing it. See all the tailings here?
Yeah.
This was buried. The rain and all the water that would wash down filled this in. So they didn't even know this was here.
Really?
Until they started digging this out and ended up running into this shaft. And it's not snake season, so.
Okay.
See the tailings right up there still. And there was about this much space here. They could just crawl in on the top. They had to dig out 150 yards of those white tailings that had just washed down in here, or 150 feet. I don't know exactly how many.
And that's what they used to do.
That's a jet. That's the thing. Yeah.
To bang that all the way in. Pack it in.
That'd be a fun-filled day, huh?
They moved about a yard a day. 1 yard a day. So here we go.
Okay. This is.
Your head.
Yeah, not good for tall guys.
No, they said people weren't as tall as you back then. Oh yeah. This thing is huge. I mean, we're only in a small, tiny sliver section of the entire mine.
Well, this is actually a better tour. This is cooler. We get to do our own tour without them, huh?
Yeah. You know, at some point, they switched from single jacking to the hydraulic jacks.
Okay.
And if you come over here, basically, let me show you, where was that vein they were showing us? Right here. So if you look here, here's the quartz vein.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Okay.
And they were following that vein. The water table's too high. So the first two layers aren't even there anymore. If you look up here, you know, they cut all that out.
That's really something.
Yeah, now these they put in. These were wooden before. They put those in. You can see the guys in here.
Yeah.
And then if you look down here, you can see
All right.
an old part of the tour.
So
yeah, when you come in here with them, it takes about 45 minutes because he shows you every little nook and cranny and every character. He gets a lot. He actually owns the whole top of this. That side of the mountain belongs to somebody else. Actually.
Okay.
Packed in powder. And then
After because people, M. Shaw, you know, came in and said, okay.
And what, 4 foot wide, he said in there.
And this is wrapped around.
Well, they were having some boys, whole troop of Boy Scouts go through on a tour, and so they let us go ahead and do our own little private tour. Since Steve knows the guy, we just went in there. Now, I don't know if you'll see any of it on my video because my battery was going dead. It kept shutting off after a couple seconds. So this other guy, Eric, had a connection with him for my charger, the cable, so I'm charging it as I'm driving now. Hopefully it'll be charged up enough so I can show you the claim today.
Let me see if I can get some building material here to brace that up. Yeah. I mean super duper. That's what I'm talking about, super fine.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean?
All right.
If it's lean in there. Super fine.
There's my sweetie pie.
There you go. We don't have to be perfectly clean before we throw another one on. Okay.
Mostly feldspar in there. That's giving it that green color. Right here I got the bedrock that's exposed coming through this section. It's almost like a fault running through here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop these rocks off with that crowbar. And then I'm going to start sampling down in the little cracks and crevices. Because if the gold is coming out of these quartz veins in here where the shear zones are, well then maybe there's some more gold here. And if we're getting gold way down there, then there should be some really good gold up here. Because the gold had to go from here down to there. So that's the theory anyway. And so what you do is you sample, sample, sample. If you get gold, then you go up a little bit further. Sample, sample, sample. Is the gold the same, less, or more? And that'll tell you if you need to keep going or if you need to go backwards. So that's the principles for checking bedrock, because the bedrock is going to act like a sluice box and it's going to capture that gold for you. So all you got to do is clean it out. You just get all that loose flow sand off the top and get down in the cracks and crevices, because once gold gets in there, it never comes out for thousands of years.
Do you think a lot of water really runs down through here pretty heavy?
When we get monsoon season, I'll prove my point. Take a look over here there. There used to be an adit there and an adit down there. And this used to be down low.
Okay.
So the water over 130 years has built this wall up right here, because this wasn't here before. And you can see where it's come around the corner and filled in this adit right here.
Okay,
So,
I saw that, yeah.
this is all force of water right here.
So do you do just like if you're going to a regular stream, you kind of look where the bend is and all? I mean,
Yeah, you can do that too. Now,
it doesn't matter that much
the water's only moving once a year, maybe once every 5 years, depending on how the monsoon seasons are set up.
Okay.
So the gold's not going to travel as far as it would in a watershed area.
Right.
So what we're going to do is check the bedrock. I got a nice seam of it running across here.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is, if I got gold, I'll go up a little further where those adits are, and then I'll sample there. And then I'll go past the adits and see if there's if there's gold at all, and then if it's getting bigger or smaller. And then you check your jeweler's loop and see if it's rough or smooth. If it's super rough, that means the source is close by.
Right.
If it's super smooth, that means the source is far away.
way, yeah.
So
How far back does the claim go?
And then it falls here, water creates an arc, low pressure zone, it stays there. Especially if there's a crack of any kind in there. The gold will get lodged in there and stay there for thousands of years. People don't believe me, but bedrock gold can be the best gold you ever found. Nature's done 90% of the work.
Could you use a metal detector?
Yes, bingo. So I tell people, depending on where you're at, California, I'd be bringing out my gold bug too, just like Larry's got. And I'd be going over it with something like that, or a Falcon MD20, which has a high frequency. And I'll go into that later, why that's important. And I would scan and search. In California, I've seen people find these little cracks, not more than maybe ½ an inch, pull out an ounce of gold. So they'll go over, beep, 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 and then they'll just start digging the crack out. Now, it's not going to happen all the time, but California, bedrock gold is some of the best gold you'll ever find.
The rake bag.
Feel like I'm gardening out in the desert.
Yeah. Except we're taking out, we're not planting.
Ooh, you imagine spending the night here? Wouldn't that be cool, sweetie?
Yeah.
I tried to talk her into it, but she said no way.
Yeah, John was wondering if it's safe out here, if you're by yourself, if it's safe. What would you say?
I'd do it. I don't think she's gonna go out here. Now, other places, green is usually from chlorite, which is a derivative of olivine. But out here, it's feldspar. So when you get iron, reds and blacks, and green, feldspar, in this volcanic material, which is andesite, good combination. Look for the shear zones, and then the quartz intrusions in those shear zones. You're going to have a good chance of finding gold in that.
Did you say
It won't be in that. It'll be in the quartz veins.
is the light colored green stuff what you call it? Is it andesite? Which one is it?
See this whole mountain
Okay.
is nothing but andesite.
Andesite, okay.
Andesite. It's one of the 3 basic volcanic materials that are found in batholiths. And the other 2, of course, is basalt and rhyolite, or granitic masses. But anyway, so you'll see the change in color. You got tan, gray, green. Green is great because it's got tons and tons of feldspar in it.
Okay.
And you can see all these little baby shear zones everywhere. And then in the shear zones, you've got the silica intrusions of quartz, which carries the gold. Now, what I've seen in the past is that the gold is not in the center part of the vein, it's on the outer walls of the vein, on the outer edge, next to the hanging wall in the gangue material. It's a soft clayous material. Okay. That's where your most gold's going to be, out here anyway.
Right. Maybe it's false bedrock, huh?
No. Around here we don't have false bedrocks like you do in Arizona. Arizona, false bedrock's caliche.
I saw some down there on the GPA claim, caliche. Looked like anywhere where they scraped the road. Wasn't that caliche? Where you saw me?
Been, but most around here, oh, looks like it dips down again.
Well, when you go down there, when you go out, look right where you saw me parked.
If we're going to be digging today, fellas. Go much further.
You want to get in over here? I'll get out of your way. Okay.
See, they don't talk about, I'm like, as soon as you do that, it's a job. And I guarantee you're going to have to treat it like a job, act like a job, and it's not going to be fun anymore. I guarantee it. You're going to have overhead, you're going to have bottom lines, you're going to have red tape, bureaucracy, you're going to have crews, you're going to have to work out schedules, you're going to have to come up with a business plan. To do with that, oh, you people are nuts. I said thanks and no thanks. So,
they want you as an educated person to destroy the
go in there and
so
this line broke, oh my god, I'm like, what is this, Three Stooges, go gold mining? I'm like, no, that's not. I mean, I like to act like a knucklehead on my own terms, not something like that. Come on. What is this? I mean, I could go into a long-winded explanation, but it all comes down to displacement. Now, what that means is that if I have a piece of gold that's this big, and I have a rock that's generally the same size, about this big, this is 19.3 times heavier than water. Gold is. And it is about 3 to 5 times heavier than black sand, which is about the heaviest stuff you're going to have in your pan, which is the iron, the black stuff. Now, if I got rocks the same size as the gold, the water will have no problem washing him out of the pan and leaving him behind. Not a problem. But if I happen to have a rock this big and a piece of gold in there, and I'm trying to wash this rock out, it's going to take more hydraulic force to move him out of the pan, which is going to knock him out of the way first before he leaves. And this is a very large demonstration because you can get down to that really fine gold that we're playing with today. And if you happen to have a stone just big enough larger, the gold will actually either get trapped underneath it or get washed out. So I tell people, classify. First of all, you're going to get rid of all the waste material that you don't want. I'm going to get rid of all these rocks that I know don't have anything in them. So I'm only going to concentrate on the stuff I really want. And when I go to pan, it's going to be so much easier because that water will wash the light stuff out and leave the gold behind because it's about the same size. And that's why you always classify when you're sampling, when you're doing your concentration cleanups, all that stuff. And I tell people, they're always asking me, well, Jeff, what should I classify with? What size screen? I said, well, when you buy a Garrett Super Sleuth, not that I'm pushing them, I love this pen. It comes with a classifier that comes with it. It's a number 2 screen. It means there's two openings per linear inch. That's how they classify these screens. I know it's a pun on words. So if you have 8 openings per linear inch, it's a number 8 screen. 4 openings is a number 4 screen. So you think of a linear inch, how many openings do you have? And that's the number size of screen you got. When you're working with fine gold, like up in here, you're saying, well, I know my gold's probably fine, so I'm going to classify it down to the size of what I think that gold is. So I should have probably brought maybe a number 20 up here, a smaller screen. But the problem is, oh, fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
That would be a better screen. Now,
Can I take this?
Oh, yeah, please.
Bye.
Now the downside is when you're working with moist material, if you get too fine of a screen, it has a hard time going through, and you'll have to classify wet. And so I tell people, and that's a better way to classify anyway, because sometimes the gold will be small and stuck in clay seams on the outer edges of the rocks, the little tiny rocks. And so I tell people, if you can, classify wet. Have this and this in the tub of water together, and classify wet. And that way it washes everything off those rocks, because the little pieces of gold will actually get trapped in the clay, which is on the rocks, which is very common when you...
We're gonna have to get an unhinky answer for that pump.
Go higher, we'll take it.
I'd go lower. Yeah.
Not out here.
Is that black there?
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
I know you know what to do, Jeff.
Didn't you say you needed a panning lesson too?
Oh, I didn't know I should start. Yeah, that's when he goes before.
Yeah?
Because I'll buy a pound and play.
Anyway, I know we said fly proof. That is fly proof. I know. So
Fine gold.
nothing to write home about.
That's a baby fly poop.
So, and we're on bedrock too. Here's my. See you in the,
Yeah, they're doing a little target practicing up there.
Okay.